Yeah. I'm somewhat envious of the relationship, you have with Tristan. He seems like a genuinely nice guy. Like whenever I've interacted with him, like I've had him on for a podcast. I remember one year he even sent me a random DM just around New Year's, and we weren't speaking a lot, but we followed each other on Instagram. And he said something along the lines of, "Hey, Rich, what you've been doing has been appreciated. Thank you. You're a genuinely good guy, and all the best for the New Year," sort of thing. He didn't have to do that. Like I'm sure he had better things to do on New Year's Eve, right? It's not even top of mind for me. So your friendship and your brotherhood that you've got with Tristan, was it always that way? Was it something that you had to manufacture? Did you guys have to work on it? Like, how did you guys build that?
It's a good question. And yeah, so for me, because we've kind of always been this way, not as much as we are now, but we've kind of always been this way. So something that even, I take for granted a little bit, but I've looked at it very carefully myself and even tried to work out why we work so fantastically. And I think it's just a matter of prioritizing it. And the truth is, with most groups of brothers in the world, doesn't matter where they are, especially in the Western world, the brotherhood element falls behind quite a few different things, right? And one of them is women. One of them is females. That's a nice, easy one for me to commentate on. But let's take two normal brothers, not me and Tristan, but you take two normal brothers. They both get girlfriends. The girlfriends, you go and live with your girlfriend. Now there's two different guys living in two different houses, sacked up with a chick. One of them might get married to one girlfriend. One of them, gets engaged to the other. And you end up building these very separate lives with the woman, which is fine. But that's what the woman wants. And that's how you end up doing it. But me and Tristan just never allowed that to happen. It's always been me and Tristan live together. We want to live together. The house is big enough. If we have girlfriends, they end up being friends. That's fine. But we never separated to go down the route with girls. And we've kind of always had this element, even very simple things. I'll give you an example. If me and Tristan and two girlfriends, let's say, four of us we jump on the jet and we go on holiday. When we get off the jet, if there's two S classes waiting for us, me and Tristan will get in an S class to talk man shit, and the two girls will get in an S class to talk girl shit. It's not two couples. We've never been that way. Like me and him, it's always kind of been a separation of men and women. Same thing in if it's me, my brother, and a few others, and then all our girlfriends are around, if there's two tables to eat on, the men sit on one table, the girls are on another table. It's just kind of how the dynamic of our life is. And that means you prioritize the brotherhood. Because otherwise you get dragged into the traditional route, with a woman and
the feminine, I feel like stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem is with a woman is, and I'm not trying to, be called a misogynist. I'm not trying to get canceled again. But the truth is, most women don't want you having too close a relationship with your brother because it makes you, one, resilient to her bullshit. Mm-hmm. Two, you're going to end up with your brother out, partying, whatever, shit she doesn't like. Like they're going to try very subtly to be like, oh, you're always with him, spend time with me, etc. And you just have to prioritize it. And we've always prioritized our brotherhood. And for that reason, it's worked out fantastically well. So, yeah, it's just a matter of putting it above everything. And we always have. And we're happiest when we're living in the same house. Like the idea of us ever living separate never. Because it's boring. Where's the fun? You got to wake up and wake the other guy up and just do some push-ups and have a laugh. That's the whole fun part of life. And I think that if you talk to many guys, the happiest times of their life were like in high school when they're on the football team. And I don't think that's the football. I think that's the camaraderie of hanging around with your boys all the time, right? So we have that lifestyle and we allow our women to fit into it as opposed to building these, nuclear family lives with a chick. I think that chicks are the biggest element to it. I truly actually believe that. Because I think if most brothers were to start hanging out long enough, all their wives would just give them too much fucking headache. That's what I think it would be.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, some of the best times I had was probably in my 20s with great friends and roommates. I mean, the problem is that at some point it seems like, friends will somehow just betray you, right? It's like, there's not a lot of men out there that are good men, that are good at being men, that are trustworthy. And I think it's funny the way that you guys interact. I mean, I've watched a couple of your vlogs and it's like, you and Tristan and your cousin and, whoever else might be there. Like you genuinely, I've always said one of the characteristics of a good man is a guy that will make fun of you to your face, but protect you when you're not around. Yeah. Fakes, liars, frauds are the kind of people that will, just talk shit behind your back and pretend like they're your friend, to your face. They never test you. They never shit talk you, sort of thing. Right.
I agree. But you know what? I'm going to say one more thing while we're on subject, because you're talking about like friends betraying and that kind of thing. I agree. But I also think a lot of that is related to women. I really believe that.
Yeah,
I think I think it's true, bro. If you have 4 guys and you're all friends, the chance of one of them guys fucking over his 3 most important people in his life is low, unless he has a chick at home sucking him off who's like, you don't need them, you have me, and she gets in his fucking head and she gives him some snake bullshit in his mind. So I think a lot of the time, even women are involved in that. I think a lot of it is just other influences, and women have the most powerful influence on the planet, bro. Women can do magic, and they get black magic in these minds of and hearts of the men and fuck with them. And I'm telling you, it happens.
Yeah, it's guys that prioritize female companionship and women over a brotherhood and men and guys that have their back. And like, that's a test of a good guy. I mean, if you have a guy that has your back despite what a woman does in that environment, I think that guy is somebody that you want to test further and maybe like include him more in your inner circle, as you kind of go about life. I think it'd be interesting to see how you guys like unfold as you get older. Like, you're going to be a couple old guys in your whatever, like the autumn years of your life, sitting around smoking cigars.
Yes, we are. Yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
Nothing's going to change, G. And you know what? We make laughs. We make jokes, and we say, even if it all went wrong and somehow we lost everything, we'd be sitting around the Philippines with a bottle of whiskey at age 71, laughing about how fun it was. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a shit. Like, and when you're together, that also gives you a superpower. Like, even in the height of the cancellation, it was kind of funny. I got a few emails of support, and people are like, the pressure you must be under, they're out to get you, they're gonna try and put you in jail, they're lying about you, everyone hates you, da da da. Me and Tristan were just sitting there laughing. We're just like, this is fucking, it was all funny to us. Like, it is what it is. So we're gonna be the same forever. I know we're never gonna change.
There's been some personal parts of your life that have been aired. Somebody was asking me to present the question about, I think it's Adam Sosnick is his last name, airing your personal business to the public when it came to your, I mean,
yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I met Adam and I met Patrick Bet-David. They were both really nice guys. They seemed nice to me. I think Adam has made an apology since. He regrets saying what he said. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to say that, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's starting to leak now. I think the world's starting to understand that when the feminists, the blue-haired angry feminists say, oh, this Andrew guy is lonely and he's going to grow up childless and all this garbage, they're starting to realize that's simply not the case. It's actually far from it. And, T and I have kind of embarked on a journey, which I would say is the old-fashioned way of doing things, which is to ensure that we have as much genetic legacy as possible. And we're very successful so far. I guess that's a nice, polite way of me saying it. And that's basically what we're doing. It's actually funny. I won't say his name because he's a really good friend of mine. And since I've been so well known, I've gone to a lot of very exclusive events and parties and met some very famous people. And I've met a guy